And especially in the mind of a child, a third grader, who is just, you know, the impressions that they see and things stick with them for a very long period of time. So we're excited about that. We're getting it. They met with me today. We were going over the lettering of what they want on the trailer. They're going to have some pictures that are a couple of things that are on it that are messages to people while the trailer is traveling from place to place. That'll have messages on it about fire safety.
This will mainly be at the schools?
Yes, schools, the Senior Citizen Center, and programs where we have young kids that anybody wants to put on, like if you have an organization or something, whether it be cheerleaders or football players or baseball players. In the,
an educational program.
Right, and those leagues want to try it, or any organization where we have kids that want to try it, will be more than welcome to. But again, it's got to be little ones.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking as you were talking that it's almost surprising with the communications effort, let's say over even just the last 5 years, and how technology has increased and how we're communicating with people in so many different ways. It's almost hard to imagine that with all of the information out there now about fire prevention and the hammering away at smoke detectors and how readily available smoke detectors are. I mean, I remember when they came out in the 70s and they were very expensive. All of that has changed. It's almost hard to imagine some of these scenarios that we see every now and then. But of course, on the other hand, we will never know how many truly have been saved because of the fire prevention information and, you know, smoke detectors and all of that.
I think that you've seen the death rate in homes and house fires drop dramatically since the onset of smoke detectors. I think smoke detectors have helped a lot. The one thing that you see, and I don't mean this to sound, I don't know how to put it, but it seems like the poor people, the people who don't have the money to buy it, okay, are the ones who lose their lives. You can almost see it all the time. And again, that's why in this city we don't charge. I mean, that's how important
And
it
you
is.
install it also.
Right.
I mean, that really blew me away. That's,
and our guys get a kick out of doing that. They
that's
really
great.
do.
That's
And
great.
again, if somebody wants to say that here, well, here's $5, here's $1, okay, whatever it is, to do it makes it work. But I think that you see that deaths by death of fires in a home, and mainly it's because of the smoke, which are inhaling the toxic things that we have in our homes today, compared to what it was. I remember as a kid, we used to hear a lot about fires, especially around Christmas time. Today, you don't hear the amounts. You'll hear it every once in a while.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That are there, and it always seems that there's a couple of kids that get killed.
Yeah. Oh.
And
I hate those stories at home.
Yeah, they're a tragedy. It is a tragedy, and any time somebody loses their lives, especially over something that's today you can buy them for $4.95.
Right. Now, if someone watching this is interested in getting a smoke detector here from City Hall, should they just show up and ask for it, or should they call, or what should they do?
They can call and set it up, and the guys will come out, and they'll fill out a form of where it is. And actually, they'll know now where that smoke detector is, and they have a little system that they do they used to, and I believe it's still in effect, where they would, people that had bought them, they would remind them the batteries are, to be changed.
That's great.
But now, now with this big thing on of if you change the batteries at the time changes, either in the spring or in the fall, that really is the best way to do it in 6 months. And again, if you walk by and you don't know whether your smoke detector's working or not, because when the batteries are going bad on a smoke detector, I don't know if you know this or not, it about drives you nuts.
Oh, yeah, the little beep.
It just keeps going off, and you hear this little deet, and you're wondering, what is that noise?
Right.
And here it's a smoke detector. A lot of people will go over there and unplug the battery because it's bothering them, instead of going out and buying another battery.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've warned everyone.
Right.
For this year, at least. Okay, let's talk a little bit about leaves. The leaves are just absolutely gorgeous right now, and going to be coming down rapidly, I'm sure.
They're gorgeous when they're on the tree, and that's about it. Right. After they're off of the tree, they're not so gorgeous anymore, and we have our programs of leaf pickup. One of the few cities that do what we do. We're very pleased to be able to do that for our residents. Again, we have the bag program, and if you haven't received or gone to get your bags yet, by the coupon that was in the Gazette, you have till the end of October, and then that stops, it's gone. That's the 30-day program. We used to do it where we were open on Saturdays, but we had very, very few people come in, and it just was not cost effective. So we asked people, if you can't get it on a Saturday and you know your neighbor's going to go up, have them pick them up for you, explain the situation, and they'll give them the bags, as long as the coupon's made out in that person's name.
Good.
We don't have any problem with it. So it starts pretty soon, and it'll be there. We ask everybody just be patient. The leaves will be picked up. If they're not picked up at the time, it may be due to weather. It'll be done shortly. Right. And don't call in, because it really is not. It's going to get done, and there's nothing that we're going to be able to do, because when they're in an area, they're concentrating in that area, and they're not going to go from this area to another area. We don't do that.
Finish up.
Just finish up, go, and we'll go through.
And so much depends on the weather. And speaking of weather, of course, the city would be getting ready now for
winter
white stuff that's going to come down very soon.
And we're preparing for a tough winter. We're hearing now that this is going to be a very, very bad winter.
I've heard that.
So we're getting ready. The plows are there. We have a couple new trucks. The other day, somebody mentioned something, and it never dawned on any of us. I mean, we're prepared all the time, but we have got so many new streets within the city in the last few years that we have not added any new trucks. So the plowing has taken a little longer. This year we're adding some new trucks in there because of the amount of streets that we've added.
Oh, good news.
To pick up where we're at. Now, Sunset Cove in Brookside are not city streets. These are private condominium streets. They are not plowed by the city.
A good point to make.
Right, and they won't be plowed by the city. Those are plowed by individual contractors at the Homeowners Association in either one of those cities, or streets rather, or developments. Contract with. It is not a city function to go in there and do that.
So it might be good for someone living there now to sort of, check with their homeowners association to make sure that's already taken care of.
Correct.
I think I would do that if I were a new resident of a development.
That's right.
Yeah,
because the first time that they call and say their street's not plowed, we're going to have to tell them that
it's
you're
not
going
a
to
city street.
Right, it isn't.
Exactly. Good.
And so they're being done that way.
Good. Okay. All righty. Well, we're out of time. We'll talk again real soon, and maybe by then we'll have a lot of white stuff on the ground, and we can.
I hope not.
Revel in that.
You like snow. I don't like snow.
I love winter. Okay.
I like summer.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Okay.
And thanks to all of you for joining us again here on Mayor's Corner. As always, we'll talk again.
A question you'd like the mayor to address on his program? Write to the Mayor's Corner, 35150 Lakeshore Boulevard, Eastlake, Ohio, 44095, or drop it off in the Recreation Department at City Hall.